Welcome to Lifeness with Logan Hall. It's life, it's business, it's Lifeness. Live from the StriveVenta.com studios, here's Logan Hall.
All right. Oh, yeah. All right. We are here in full effect. You are listening to Lifeness. It's life, it's business, a little bit of both of those. Put them together. You got some Lifeness. And I want to kind of start the show out by just thanking all you listeners out there and for your loyalty and your support and your commitment to trying to listen to the show and being with me. If you've been here since March of 2014 when we first launched Lifeness, we're pretty close to exactly 18 months right now as far as how long the show's been going. We're, I think, somewhere up in the 70s as far as shows that we've had. And it's just a lot of fun, and I really do appreciate all the listeners out there who've stuck with me from the beginning when we were over at the Double Wide with the Double Wide Network app that wasn't the most user-friendly. We've really made some huge strides since we've moved over here to the StriveVenta.com studios on iTunes, Google Play, and we're this close to being on iHeartRadio, which is very, very exciting for the show and to get it out to some more people. And again, just from the bottom of my heart to all you listeners out there, whether it's your first time listening or your 70th time, I really thank you for your support. It means a lot to me, and especially the ones who I do get to speak to and tell me that the show has impacted their life positively, that they've made some changes and some strides to do better and live better and give back and have the priorities right. And so, talking about priorities, and that's where the show's going today. You guys, this is going to be the last Lifeness show for a short while. It is not indefinitely. Lifeness is not going away forever. It is not being retired. But Lifeness is going to be taking a short hiatus due to a few different reasons, and we'll just kind of talk about that because it's Lifeness. Let's talk about the life side of it. And hey, I got a beautiful life. Life could not be better. Every day gets better. There are no complaints over here. The big man keeps blessing me. I've got a beautiful and amazing wife, a very special and awesome daughter, and another baby boy on the way. So we've just been blessed there with our health and our fortune and everything that the big man upstairs provides to us. But in the grand scheme of things, you guys also know my full-time job is a realtor for Century 21 Northwest, but I'm not only a realtor, I'm also our vice president of career development, which my main job duties on a day-to-day basis are recruiting new agents and mentoring and training them to get them to be as successful as they can be. And that takes a lot of my time on a daily basis, nights and weekends. Yesterday I was at another career expo at a real estate school in Gilbert. That's the third expo I've been to in the last 3 weeks, recruiting agents and then the interview process afterwards and then onboarding them with the training and mentoring. There typically is a pretty big learning curve right out of the chute for a brand new agent. So it takes a lot of time to do my position as the vice president of career development and then also be a top producing realtor and help all my friends and family with all their real estate needs. And then my family's in there, and then my church, and then giving back to my community, and then there's Lifeness. And unfortunately, with everything else that I've got going on in my life, you guys, my part of Lifeness, in the life side, the business side, and all over Lifeness, the show Lifeness kind of has fallen to the bottom of the priority scale. And unfortunately, it doesn't get the time and attention that I need to give it to make it a excellent show all of the time. Now, I'm not saying that we don't put out good shows and great stuff, because we absolutely do, and the encouragement and the feedback I get from you guys, resonates and seals that for me and makes it all worthwhile. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of other things that I am really, really good at that I need to focus my efforts on, and that's part of life is prioritizing and seeing what you're good at and seeing what you're maybe not the best at. One thing that I tell my agents when they come on, because there's a lot of different facets of real estate. There's residential, there's commercial, there's property management, there's a whole slew of things. And I tell my agents that, you want to try to be really, really good at like one or two things. And that's the same thing in life. You want to be really, really, really good at being a dad or being a husband and being an employee or maybe being a baseball coach. But if you're trying to be all these different things, there's no way that you're going to be excellent in all of them. There's just not enough time in a day. There's not enough energy and focus to go around to be excellent at a handful of things. And you guys have heard me share this on the show before, that's one thing that I've learned in life is to prioritize and make sure that you're spending your efforts in a good manner, and that your time is being used wisely, and that your resources and everything that you put into it is being maximum potential that it can be. And unfortunately, I'm not able to give Lifeness the maximum attention that it needs to fulfill its potential. And again, Lifeness is a great show. I love this. This is a passion of mine, you guys. This is something that I've been doing now for 18 months. And I have financed the entire show all by myself, other than a very small amount of help from my sponsors here recently. And I'd be remiss to not say thank you so much to the sponsors, Kelly McCurdy with now PMC Mortgage, and John St. George with Phoenix Carpet and Water Restoration. Make sure you guys, if you need a good mortgage, loan officer, need your carpets or your tile clean, get in touch with those guys. Thanks again to the sponsors. And again, thanks to all you listeners, you guys. It's a great privilege to be able to bring this show to you every week. It does come with a lot of responsibility to make this as good as it can and as it should be. And I am a perfectionist. That's one thing I am in life. And if I don't live up to my expectations, I just feel that I'm not saying it's a failure, but that it could be better. And rather than just putting out stuff that I would give a B+ to, I'm an A+ type of guy. I got close to straight A's in school, and perfection is one of those things that I strive for, and to be as good as I can be at the things that I'm doing. And I'm a really good realtor. I'm a really good vice president of career development, and I'm an awesome father, and I'm an awesome husband. And I'm a pretty good radio show host and a pretty good motivator, but I am not excellent and awesome at it as I would like to be. So, hey, it's all right, you guys. I love it. This is Lifeness. This is the life side of it. I've learned a lot through this process. One of the things I've learned and really tried to emphasize in my life and act on a daily basis is the golden rule. You guys, all too often, we're very self-seeking and selfish. We've got our own self-motives. We're dishonest. And we're really just looking out for number one, or I in Roman numerals, right? But at the end of the day, that's not how you go through life. Sure, you got to take care of yourself, but you really need to take care of the people that are important to you, that are close to you, around you, and then also the other people in your community. The golden rule is that, if you were down and out and you needed someone to lend you a hand to pick you up or get you out of a hole that you've dug yourself into, you need to be that person. And we very often are that person that's in that hole and needs a hand from somebody. Life has its ups and downs. Life happens, you guys, and being there for other people, our fellow neighbor, our fellow man and woman, is very important. It says it in the big book, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that's something I've really, really grown to have more appreciation and really try to focus on in my life. Again, I'm very blessed with a very healthy family, a very profitable, lucrative business where I get to not only provide a good living for my family, but I also get to help train and mentor other agents to be able to provide that for their families. I've been very blessed with the health of our family. Also, my wife's Uncle Jim, who had been going through some struggles recently. We got some great news yesterday that all of the hope or the doubt and fear on what was going was completely eliminated, and he is good and healthy. So, way to go, Uncle Jim. Thank you, big man upstairs, for making him healthy. And you guys, it's just a blessing to be able to do this for you guys. And what I have learned personally in my life is priceless. There's no price tag of what I've spent to get this show going and to support it, and the time and effort that's put into it, the blood, sweat, and tears. And I sure hope you guys have learned a lot too, and we're going to continue talking about Lifeness. We're going to come back after this short break, kind of talk about the business side of things, and then wrap it up at the end with the Lifeness. And again, thank you so much to all you listeners. Stay tuned for this short break. You're listening to Lifeness. Hey guys, I'm here with a good friend of mine, John St. George, owner of Phoenix Carpet Water Restoration, home of the Spot Crew. John, tell us a little bit about your company.
Thanks, Logan. We are a locally owned carpet, tile, upholstery, and oriental rug cleaning company here in the Valley. We're happy to celebrate our 5-year anniversary, and we're giving 25% off to all new customers to call in at 602-319-8446.
So that phone number again, 602-319-8446, 602-319-8446. Call my buddy John for a free estimate today. Tell him Logan sent you. All right. Again, thank you, John St. George, Phoenix Carpet Water Restoration. You guys get in touch with him. He's a great guy. He'll provide you a good price and some really good quality work for you. You know, speaking of business, that's kind of what the second segment of the show is. For those of you who haven't listened for a while, we break it up into 3 segments. The first segment's kind of life focus. The second segment's typically a little bit of a business focus. And then the last segment, you tie those together, and you got the name of our show, which is Lifeness. A little bit of business, a little bit of life. Put those together, and then you got some lifeness. So, you know, the business side of things, right? This is a radio show. It does cost money to run a radio show and a business. And again, thank you so much to the proud sponsors of Lifeness, some very close people in my family and my friends in my circle of life, but also supporters and sponsors of the show. And, you know, speaking of business, you got to try to run the radio show like a business. And I think at very often times I run it more of a personal ambition and desire and just a very heartfelt thing and just shooting from the cuff. And with the business, you need to be prepared and you need to have an outline and you need to have structure. And all too often, again, at the end of the day with the priorities in my life, sometimes lifeness gets bumped down to the bottom and I don't have good guests booked out weeks in advance and I don't have good topics set up and we're not firing on all 10 cylinders because I feel that this can be a V10 sports car with a lot of power and muscle, but look good and provide a lot of fun and enjoyment for people to jump in and take a ride on. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not being run like a business from my side. I'm not putting the time and effort that it needs to be excellent, and it's good, but it's not excellent, you guys. And this isn't my first business to endeavor or things that haven't gone 100%. And again, to reiterate, Lifeness is not retiring. It is not going away. We're going to take a short hiatus. We're not quite sure how long. It may be a month. It may be a few months. But we are going to come back with Lifeness, and it's going to be as excellent as it can be. Maybe it's once a week, or maybe it's once a month of a show, right? And we look forward to it, to coming on once a month and getting that 1 hour or half hour of information from Lifeness and Logan Hall and the good things he has to share. I've had other businesses that are not currently still going, but at some point may come back into my life. Some of you know I was a restaurateur. I used to own an Italian restaurant, Rosario Ristorante. I don't have the best Italian accente, but it was an awesome Italian restaurant that myself and a friend of mine named Tim Thomas owned over in Glendale, nearby our old high school and our stomping grounds of Apollo High School. And that didn't quite go the way that we thought. Businesses are tough to run. Restaurants are even tougher. You got like a 92% failure rate within the first 12 months. We were not that statistic. We were actually able to sell the business for a profit in the first 12 months. But the reason we ended up having to sell it is because it had fallen down on the priority list. I had a full-time job. My partner, basically, he had another full-time job, and we were trying to balance our full-time jobs and our personal lives with owning a restaurant. And those of you who've ever worked in the food and beverage industry know that that's not a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday job. It's a 7 to midnight, 8-day-a-week job. And it became to where the fact that it wasn't getting as much as attention and effort and focus that it needed to be excellent. And not that our food wasn't excellent, because it was, but the overall atmosphere and the brand and everything wasn't as excellent as we knew it could be. And so we had to make an executive decision to agree to sell the restaurant and learn from that and move on. And very important point in today's show, you guys. You got to have takeaways from things that happen in life. Good, bad, indifferent. If you're not learning from them, then it was a waste of your time and your efforts. And why did you even do that? Things happen for a reason. Oftentimes we don't know what that reason is. We had a really awesome show a couple weeks ago that I had recorded with a good friend of mine by the name of Jay Scott, and we had some technical difficulties, and the show didn't get recorded right, and we weren't able to re-record it, right? And